What's up, traders? It's Nico, Inefficient Market with MIC. Today is November 7th, Wednesday, and these are my trades for today. Before I get into it, I'm not licensed, I'm not registered. This is not investment advice, even if it sounds like investment advice. So let's jump into it. I traded two names today, AMD. Let's go over that one first. I traded that one off the open, but before we check that out, let's check out the daily chart. This thing was insane. Run all the way up to 33. And then we gapped down hard and gave up some nice price there, and we've been playing off this gap here that we've been going into, pushing into the last 2 days, last two sessions, and we've got some gaps here also in play from the daily as well. So we were gapping up pretty good, pretty decent gap for this kind of name in pre-market, and I was looking to fade the gap until I saw how price opened up. So once I saw how price opened up, in pre-market, sorry, I'm not the best with sterling, so bear with me. So we opened up here and we pulled back. So if my plan was to fade the gap, if we opened up and extended, if we opened up here and extended, I would have sold the gap. I would have sold the strength. But we opened up here and we got weak. We had a weak open. Even though we gapped up, we had a weak open. We started pulling back. So once we started pulling back to this support level, I started thinking, you know what? I think there's a long trade in here before there's a short trade in here, and I'm going to start longing this weakness because I think we're going to go back and test the highs. And so that was my plan. I made it immediately as soon as I saw the price action, and I thought it was good chances I'd be right. If I'm not, then so be it. I'll just take some risk off and eat the loss. But I didn't know how low it was going to go, but I liked the action. So I started in here on the 2120s, ended up a little too early. When we pulled it back below VWAP, I got some really nice ads in here. Bottom ticking this candle, playing off the 21 teens level here, this and this. And then when we went even lower and we started breaking down into this support area, I got one last ad off and I ended up bottom ticking or near bottom ticking that candle. So got some really good size on to build my long position, and we ended up reversing, and I took it off, and I sold it here because this is where we wicked in pre-market, and we started having these smaller candles here. So I thought maybe there might be some supply there. So I ended up taking it off there, and then we went a little higher in there. So I booked the long trade. Got long here and here and here, and then I sold it here and here and here and here. We popped up, and I thought maybe that might be too much too soon. I kind of traded it more like it was a small cap, even though it's not, and it's AMD. But I started shorting it here. I got about a third of my position on. We pressed higher. We got a dip here, so I thought I might be right. I like the short. But then we pressed up and I was like, I don't know. But then we got up to the 70s level, which was pretty interesting price action. That was noteworthy. So once we got into the 70s, you'll see, sorry, I'm just trying to, there we go. So we get this candle and I short and I short, and we wick and we close here. We come down here, I'm right, but then we come back up here, press, and we test the wick highs. I get short and short, and we wick again. The more this is happening, the more I'm liking my sells up here, and the more it's confirming with what I'm thinking. So then we get this candle, we go all the way down, we come back up, and I thought, okay, I'm just gonna short this bounce. We come back up here, and I short it, but then we close a little higher. But again, wick. What are you seeing here? We can't get above this 2176 level. We just get a bunch of wicks. We're closing down here on these candles, and we can't get, 8 cents higher. So it's starting to tell a story to me. It's starting to tell a story that we got more supply here than demand. And that's what this situation is telling me as we go sideways. So as the more you can see, the more we're doing it, the more I'm getting short, the more I keep selling, the bigger I'm getting. And we do it again here on this candle. We wick and we fall back into the range and I short. I'm getting lower on my ads because I think we're about to pull. On this one, we stand up and I think, fake news. I don't believe in this. I think we might stuff, it's stuff for AMD. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, we might reverse this candle. It might not hold and that kind of thing. And I missed the, I kind of did it before the 76 range because again, I'm playing off that level. We went much, not much higher, but it's AMD. We went a few pennies higher. Um, and then we closed lower, and then this candle we just reject and go lower, and I add again, and I add again on the next one, and we wick. So you can see there's clearly a situation going on with the mid 70s, the mid 2170s here. Wick, 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 stand up through it, but reverse right away, and then you get another wick. You know what I mean? Top wick, top wick, top wick. Okay, so that's 2/3 of my short. This was the first third. I was early on it, and then we get the pull. Some nice volume coming in. I mean, this name's so liquid, you can trade any size you want. At least I can. Yeah, I mean, it's plenty liquid for the size I'm using. So, I mean, 5,000 shares on this name, it's like no issue at all. If you want more, if you want less, it's fine. This is a great name to trade. Highly liquid, highly liquid. So we get the pull. I cover out half of it here. In the next candle, I set some orders and I get out the rest here. It does go lower. I could have made another 25 cents, it looks like, which is fine. The long trade here and then the short trade here. I didn't make much money on my first third, but I did make good money on my 2/3 that I sold here and covered here. So we go higher. We test VWAP. We get a nice wick back up to where I've covered it. And then we get a stuff candle here. So this heavy candle shows me that price is really heavy. We're falling off VWAP, and I mean, you slammed a new lows, and now it's in sight. Okay, how far is the supply going to take us? So we ended up going down to the 21 mid 20s level right here, but it failed to do anything with it. We failed to get a new low. We get a higher low, and we never ended up testing the lows off the open, even where the candles closed here. Or excuse me, this one open and that one closed. Anyways, we never even get there to test. You get a failed new low, higher low, and then we go and test VWAP again, get a wick, come back down, pull back, and again, higher low is set, test VWAP on a stand-up candle, and then we start pressing, pull back to VWAP. You see how price is responding to VWAP? From the upside to the, coming down to it, coming up to it, coming down to it, under it, up to it, under it, up to it, through it, down to it. You see how price is just yeah, fucking VWAP's a thing. You know what I mean? Like, price is responding to so many traders are looking at VWAP, and I don't know, self-fulfilling prophecy, whatever it is, maybe more so for moving averages. I mean, VWAP is more volume weighted average price. So it's just, anyways, there's a lot of eyes on VWAP, and that might be part of it. But the point is it's very interactive with VWAP. Then we get up here and we start testing high a day, but we fall back into this 2170s range because look at this. We stand up here. Hold on one second. Look who came home. Hey, look right there. Say hi. Can you say hi? Awesome. He had his first day of daycare today. How was it? Awesome. All right, let Daddy finish. Hold on. Let me find the pause button. All right, cool. Yeah, where was I? So we were in this, we did that trade. Okay, yeah, so we go and we test highs here. Now look what happens when we test the highs. We test the 2170s here, but same situation. As soon as we stand up, we sit down. It can't, there's something going on with this level, just like it was before. And that told the story. As soon as I saw that, I thought we might get a short trade soon. I'm going to wait for this to pull back and maybe pop up a little bit and see if I can get some size off on a pop, on some strength. So we pull back and I start getting short here. And that's exactly what I did. We wicked here. And once we wicked, I thought I could start getting short into that price area. And that's what I did. And we ended up wicking again. And I got some good sells off here. And then boom, shortly after, all the way down to VWAP, I took my covers and I just timed it. It was a quick trade for me, just a scalp, and boom, got it right and took the money. So that's what I did. And great, made a great morning on AMD. I didn't trade it the rest of the day though. And as you can see, price went even higher eventually, and that's what it did the rest of the day. The next trade I did was TWLO. And this was a monster mover. I mean, $10 move off this consolidation area. I mean, let's check, the daily chart. Come here. Come here, come say hi. Everyone wants to see your awesome glasses. You want to put them on? Put them on. Put them on. Ah. All right. All right. So awesome. Okay. So where's my data on TWLO? What happened here? I'm using my left hand. Oh, okay. I gotta use my right here. We gotta put you on this side. Daddy's gotta put you on this side. Okay, cool. All right, now I got the right hand on the mouse. Okay, cool. So here we got a huge push. We got a big candle here, stood up. I mean, just giant range, breaking out of the high a day here, and just monster move. I mean, just really big, really big move. And then let's get into the intraday chart. Okay, so once everyone's a comedian, huh? Hey, Bubs. How are you? You want to say hi? Say hi. High five. You missed. High five. High five. Yeah. All right. All right. Daddy did good today. So on this trade we got up to this point and it was basically $10. Bye-bye. Yeah, bye-bye. We got off the $10 from this consolidation and the 86 level, and then we got up to 96, and I was just like, God, it's like $10. It's a $10 move. It hasn't really had a breather. I'm just gonna start shorting it. It was just a technical idea, just looking to scalp it, and that's what I did. So I wasn't looking for. It's not. I'm not trading this like a small cap. I'm not trading it because I think it's going to give up 50% of its move or anything like that. It's just I'm just looking for scalp trades on it, and oh God, you crack me up. So here we go. So, oh, he dropped. Uh-oh. Okay, I'll let you down. Here, go see Mama. All right, we'll go get it. All right, sorry guys. Yeah, careful down there. A lot of cords and stuff. Okay, so yeah, so I basically hit the top like right on my starter, pretty which I normally never do. I normally don't time it that well, but I started and price action went back into the range. We got a wick, and I started adding to winner. I got bigger. This name, you don't need much size, and if you provide liquidity, you can use the spread to your advantage. And I mean, you can really make some like big moves on this name, and man, it really adds up. It really adds up. So I got short here, covered the dip. I mean, basically my idea was I'm just going to scalp this thing. I'm just looking to sell pops and cover dips the whole time until it stops working. And that's exactly what I did. So I sold this up here and I covered the dip, and then we popped up, I got short, covered the dip, popped up, I got short, covered the dip, popped up, I wasn't sure here. We popped down, dropped down, popped up, sold it, covered this dip. Got all my size off here, which is really good. And then popped up. I sold it, but it didn't work. And when we got this, I thought, okay, this might reclaim and kind of do one of these things, but over here, and it didn't actually end up doing that. I ended up getting faked out on this, and we did go lower to test the lows from 94. And you'll see that the 94 level is a level of interest. You'll see that we had a thing here, and we broke, come down and tested it from the top side, and then we did it here again and here again. So it's exactly, and that's why I'm just looking to short this name. But I mean, you can really make $1, 80 cents, 70 cents, $1 move, $1.20, $1.30 moves, just from scalping this name. I mean, it's got really great range. And you don't need, you don't need much size, or you can use size. I mean, it's got plenty of liquid. So really, really good time on that. And so again, I'm selling strength and covering weakness, and I'm going to stop when it stops working. And that's what I did. When we ended up here and we got the failed new low, we pushed up and tested on these lower highs, and we broke out, and we got these boom candles with big boom volume, and we ended up printing new highs here, which is fine. But why did we fall back into the 96 range? This 96 is where I got my initial short on. So here you stand up and it rejects right away, and now you've got this like head, shoulder, head, shoulder thing going on, even though they're little 1 minute noisy candles. But this is how I trade. This is what I'm looking at. So then we reject off 96 and we go lower. And then look, you could draw a line on 96. I mean, here, reject 96. Here, test it, reject it. 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 Really reject it. Here, boom, stand up strong, test it, reject it. I mean, the whole time you've got higher lows here, but you've got this top. So you got this wedge forming and it breaks lower. That's bearish. Here, same situation. You got higher lows. Did I say? I don't know if I said that right. Here you got higher lows and you got a top here. Gives you your wedge. Same situation here. You got higher lows and you got a top here. Off again, that 96 level. It's struggling with 96. I saw it so many times struggle with 96. It just was worth the short. And I got so eager. I put on so much size here. Afterwards, I went, you know what? This might be, maybe we get some boom candle and I'm just too, I don't want to risk my morning profits off of AMD or how I've been trading TWLO earlier today. So I ended up just taking some off and sizing down just so I could just feel comfortable. And I didn't need to put the risk on that big. So I just kind of took it. I just put too much on and took some of it off here. But I ended up making almost $1 a trade on this one. All this stuff just adds up really nice. Really great trading. I felt really great trading it. I was like in the zone on this one today. And just, man, stuff really just adds up strong. Here I go again. We're almost 17 minutes into this. I'm sorry, guys. I tried to make it shorter, but people keep telling me they like it as long as it is. So hopefully this is helpful. Thanks for checking it out. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Oh, and by the way, in MIC chat, I just want to give a shout out to Jared. I think his name's Jared. He has been on a tear lately and he just kicked some ass today, and he had his biggest day of 2018. He posted his P&L earlier in chat today. He had like I think 150 and 150, like a $300 profit on CGC that he was trading, and I was like, cool, the guy made $300. Yeah, great. And then he just periodically kept updating his P&L throughout the day, and at the end of the day he ended up with looks like $3,200 on the day, and he said it's his biggest day of 2018. So mad shout out to Jared, great trading. Mad shout out to Matt. I think he had a 9-day consecutive, he's on a 9-day win streak. Matt in chat, and Matt S, not Matt Bootlegger, but shout out to Matt Bootlegger too. He's a great guy too, man. Enjoy seeing his P&Ls every day also. But we're doing great things in MIC, so come check us out if you're interested, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.